Hi everyone, today we are going to Imphal War Cemetery. So Imphal War Cemetery is here in Imphal in Manipur. So Imphal is the capital of Manipur. So we're going here. So the history is that when the Japanese attack, obviously the whole of this one, so the Japanese attack Imphal, where the Allied forces are there, and then they move on to Nagaland, and then the Battle of Kohima took place in Kohima. So we're going to one of the cemetery here in Northeast, particularly in Imphal. So I've just typed here Imphal War Cemetery. And this is the cemetery. Let me go here like this. Okay, so this is Imphal War Cemetery. It's not as big as Kohima War Cemetery. It's a small one, but it's significant. So if you zoom out, this is Imphal city. Okay, it's a small city. And in fact, Imphal has some, or Manipur has some historical places. The war with the Britishers, obviously the war with the Japanese, and so on and so forth. So this is where we are going. This is Kangla, which is the fort of the Manipuri king. And if we move up here, that's where we are. War Cemetery. So you can come to Imphal by flight, preferably. There's no train. You can come by road, but that's going to be a long one. Preferably flight is the best option for reaching here. So one thing which you need to know is, for whatever reason, when you Google, okay, for direction, then for whatever reason it takes you here, like this, and it brings you nowhere. In fact, the real route is supposed to be this one. Go in here and go in directly. That's it. It's simple as that. But Google takes you around here for whatever reason. So be mindful of that. And if you want let's say what do you call it, landmark, DM College is here. So this is just opposite of DM College. And if you come to Imphal and if you Google for Imphal War Cemetery, then it's very easy to find. Okay, so that's all for showing on the map. Well, let's go to the War Cemetery. And this is Imphal War Cemetery. It's much smaller than what is there in Kohima. Also, this is Commonwealth War Cemetery in the Battle of Imphal between the Allied soldiers and the Japanese soldiers. And people know about Kohima War Cemetery, but I don't think many people know War Cemetery in Imphal. And also it's tucked away in a small, so to say, not a significant place from the city, and so maybe people don't know much, but still it's a beautiful place. So Royal Corps of Signals, Bell Wood, only age 21. It's a tragedy, but this is life. 21 is just crossing teenage, very young, very young. I can see some like this. It's just say soldiers of the 1939 to 1945 war, known unto God. Probably they don't have an identity of the soldiers, and so he don't have names, no birthday, no like nothing of their, let's say, command or regiment or whatever their post is. Maybe, I don't know, but it's very sad. That's the entrance. These are the grave tombstones on the left side of the entrance. This tombstone, or let's say cemetery, is mostly for Allied and Indian soldiers who died in the Battle of Imphal against the Japanese invaders. Let's say, many people don't know the history of Battle of Kohima and Battle of Imphal, but those two battles are very crucial in the Second World War, because had the Japanese, so to say, conquered these two places, then the rest of the place from Kohima, it's a downhill to Dimapur, and Dimapur to the rest of the mainland India is a rolling plain. So if Kohima is captured, then the Japanese would have just rolled into the rest of the country, and a fierce battle was fought in Kohima, and then that's where the Japanese were stopped. And obviously in the Battle of Imphal, the Japanese must have taken the place, and then they moved on towards Kohima. But then in Kohima they were stopped. We don't know what really would have happened if the Japanese took Kohima and then from then on move on towards the rest of the country. It would have been a bloodbath, I think, because what we know, we learn from what the Japanese did to the places where they conquered South Asian countries, especially. We know what happened to those people. And these people fought and died to save the country. So far I haven't seen an Indian soldier's name, mostly Britishers' name. Forgive me, my video is a little shaky because I'm using my phone with the bare hand. I don't have a gimbal with me today, and neither my camera, so the picture is not going to be that good, but I think you have an idea of the place. And their name liveth forevermore. So unlike in Kohima, this one is just one level, and there are no different levels. I think the number is also much lesser. If I turn around, you can see there are houses here and there also, so very close proximity to let's say residential area. It's not a separate area, but though well maintained, very nice. And if you ever come to Imphal, then if you're a history buff, then I think this would be an interesting place for you. Some rest house. I don't know whether that's a rest house, but I'm just throwing up words just like that. Well kept, clean, very beautiful. It's would have been nice if there's some kind of, let's say, a mini library or something like that, where we can have more information about the Battle of Imphal and what regiment, under whose command, and all of those things, if we can read it. But unfortunately it's not there. There are few, like just a few minimal kind of information here, information stand. And here, unfortunately, this is in Bengali script, Commonwealth War Graves Commission, the Taramna Uchari, Imphal War Cemetery. I used to read Bengali script properly, but I haven't read it for more than 20 years now, so I can't read as fast, and I don't think you'll be able to wait for me. I'm just giving you a glance of what it is like, the layout and stuff. Right, there's the English version here. English version, the Battle of Imphal. So if you want to read it, then you can pause and read this one. that's all for today. See you in the next episode of To the Wilderness. Bye bye.